I've done this probably for about 6 to 7 different batches. The first time I learned it from somebody in Stanford when I went there. It must have been in 2010 or something. Then I did that at the Asian Institute of Technology in Bangkok. It was a super success, right? Anshuta is joining. And after that, I have done it in different batches. And I can tell you one thing to all of you. What an amazing change it does to them over those 20, 25 times they do it. I tell them that they should do for a minimum 20 times. They become adept at public speaking after that. When you listen, for instance, to someone like Rahulji, you will never see him speaking fast. Not that he is not capable of speaking fast. He can speak fast, as I've seen, even in person. However, like you asked me, Pooja, in the morning or something, was it you? Somebody asked me. When he speaks on a platform where he thinks there are many more people, so when he is talking to a public group or wherever he thinks there is a larger section of people, he suddenly transforms into speaking in a slow, measured way. All right, keep that in mind. It is not necessary that we fill the 60 seconds with too many words because we have so much to say. That is not the central concern at all. Keep that in mind. Oh, now, Pooja, thank you for saying that you will start first. Go ahead. I will only request you to do this. Because we are going to be doing 20, 25 of them, turn on your video for these 60 seconds or so when you're talking. Over to you.
So my topic for today is that what is urban design and planning without actually engaging with the public. I wanted to start with saying that what urban design is many things. It's a wide field, but a major part of it is it's in the design of public spaces. As students, often we are taught how to map sites, talk to community for a few times, and then we go back into our laptop words and we cook up something that those people will use eventually, which is based on our thoughts. And at times, I think we are literally taking these spaces, uh, and we also limit access to some stage. Like, for example, there's a newly constructed Atal Bridge in Ahmedabad that's built on the riverfront. Um, it has, it's a beautiful bridge. It's a beautiful experience over there. But then, um, who is it for? Like the user group that we keep in mind when we're designing.
But you have already at 63 seconds.
Oh, sorry.
Now,
So
okay, not a problem. I'll tell you what we do, right? I Okay, this time, this is the second time we'll try. I'm going to keep a bell and hit it when it hits 30 seconds. Okay. I'm actually stopwatching you just now. Okay. So I turn on stopwatch when you start. 30 seconds, I ring a bell. Okay. You want to
should I
collect your
start
thoughts,
again?
you take another 1 minute. Take a minute or so. You want to write down some 2, 3 points, do that. Keep your
Okay.
points and ensure that you're speaking with those points. That's absolutely important that you speak with the points. Okay.
Okay.
30 seconds, bell, 60th second, I will say stop. Go ahead.
Okay. Urban design is many things. It is the design of public spaces, but often as practitioners, we forget to include the public in our designs. Based on our thoughts, we design spaces for the public. Ahmedabad has a beautiful piece of structure called the Atal Bridge, but it also has a entry fee. So it makes us think who we're designing for. What are the economic class of people that we focus on? It makes you think we are putting people at a buffer space and we don't let them enter even after looking at the space because maybe they can't afford it. But to not, it also makes us think about how we design and what we design. What an urban space to you, what an urban space means to you might be different than to someone who doesn't have a home. The way you see a park bench is also
No,
different from how a homeless person looks at a park bench.
that's it. Your time is up. Okay. Never mind. The recording is done. Unfortunately, your face and your behavior, your body language is not seen, right? And that's important
Mm.
for a public speaker, right? Where
Right.
you emphasize, listen to an Amitabh Bachchan, listen to any actor. There is always emphasis on the words. Lata Mangeshkar says, when she was asked, "What do you do when you sing?" She pauses and she says, I, I look for the meaning of those words that I have to sing and try to see if I can give emotion and depth to them, she says. Why do they do such things as professionals? And how do you emphasize such words? This is part of public speaking, right?
Mm.
You will not notice it. Even when, say, Rahul Gandhi is speaking, earlier, let's say a year and a half ago, he used to speak very fast. But these days, if you listen to him, he has mastered it. He's obviously listening to it again and again to some of his videos, or others are advising him, whoever they are. And he has learned to speak much better. Rajiv Gandhi, his father, when he became prime minister, he used to speak very fast. Listen to some of his early videos, if Rajiv Gandhi is available, when he became prime minister. With a what a majority he got, 400 plus seats. But later, maybe a year later or whatever, much before his death, he learned to speak deliberately and slowly. Remember this much? And now it's your turn. Whoever wants to take over. Is that Sandhya now?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Sandhya, same rules. 30 seconds. I'm going to turn on your video, keep the light on, whatever. We are going to judge you by your behavior, by how you turn. Yeah, that's nice. And how you emphasize words and all this. Don't worry about it. This is the first time we are doing it. Trust me on this. By the time you're doing the 20th, you will be so good at it that and when we end it on the sixth month, you'll say, no, 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 I want to do more, right? You'll see that. Okay. Now you tell me when you want to get started, and I'm ready.
Why programming languages are needed for an urban planner? So this was the question that I had. Like what struck me is when I looked at a job description of a role of an urban planner or as a GIS analyst on various programming languages such as Python or R5 or extensions or R language. So I was never like aware of these skill sets that is needed for an urban planner. So was that a lack of skills that hinder me from applying for such job roles which the industry requires, or else was it that it should be included in the curriculum so that it meets the skill set which the industry requires? Because now everything is socially driven, and like the technology, like whatever we do is reliant on technology. So programming skills have become an essential part for industry, for a person who needs to possess in order to remain competitive in this world.
Now,
Yes, sir.
you have to watch or listen to it back again. This recording is going to be available. I'm sure this is being recorded, right?
Yes.
Yes. And what you should watch for is this. When you began, remember that you are talking not to two people or three people. You are talking to, let us say, 500 people, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's say in your auditorium at the Department of Architecture, I know it seats about 200 people, and let's say you're speaking in front of those people. Remember like that. And you did not even introduce your subject. Define your listener. What is Sandhya want speaking about? By the time you got to by the fourth or fifth sentence, I figured, this is what she wants to say. You lost my interest. Okay. You were not grabbing my attention with what you said in your first one, two, or three sentences. You were also not emphasizing, which is very important when you're speaking, right? Voice modulation and control is also part of it. You ask any actor when he's going for audition, it's important. For example, you take someone like Rani Mukherjee. She has such a terrible voice, right? But something happened to the first director who chose her after an audition. must have been something else apart from just her voice, which made her think that she could be a good actor, right? So voice modulation is also very, very important, not just the quality of the voice. Okay. All right. This recording, I request you all to listen to these nuances that I'm speaking about. I have heard probably 300 people like this on the end, right? And to all of you, I'm saying. And every time I have told them of this need for the appropriate use of words, which comes from practice, while you listen to a BBC radio, for instance, not television, and you will see what I mean when I talk about such emphasis, right? Because when you don't see a person and you're focusing on the voice, you will see that the importance of such emphasis and stress on words and the pauses that you provide makes people listen to you. Okay, over to you. Next one. Same rules, 30 seconds, I'll ring bell. 60th, I'll give 2-3 seconds and stop the sentence.
Okay, sir. Yeah, okay. Okay, fine, sir. So good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about a critical issue that our industry is facing today, the irrelevance of present-day engineers and the lack of readiness for the future. That is one of the most wonderful topics we need to cover, I hope, and I have prepared this thing. Technology and engineering are like evolving rapidly, and staying relevant is hard in the industry. I'll explain why. Because like in the last year, like around 15 lakh engineers graduated, and only like 2.5 lakh graduates were, they were landing relevant jobs in the technical domains. And this is according to a Times of India report. And I will explain why. See, basically engineers are problem solvers, and people expect them to solve problems. And what our education system is offering is based on a curriculum that is about like 20 plus years old. And you can't imagine something like WhatsApp or Instagram 20 years ago, right? So if you teach students with a curriculum of about like 20 plus years ago, yeah, it's not relevant actually. So that's the basic education.
Alan, I'll put it like this to you. First attempt, not a problem.
Yes, sir.
Another minute and a half or whatever, 90 seconds and complete. But that won't serve our purpose. Today's purpose is only to see that you talk now and you listen to the recording, listen to yourself, and see where you could have improved upon the points and the arraignment of your argument. Okay.
Yes,
how could you have tightened them? What could you have done about it? How could you speak in points instead of speaking in flow of sentences, especially since you are asked to speak for only 60 seconds? If you are given 5 minutes, the format changes and you can think differently or speak differently. You got that, Alan?
Yes, sir.
Not a problem. I think but still it's a good job. You started very well, I thought. You straight away on your very first sentence, you got to what you're talking about as a theme, and then it sagged a bit, and but it's okay. It's a good start.
So hello everyone. Money, future, name, fame, comfort, risk are the challenges of mine and even my generation we are facing between corporate and entrepreneur. Hello everyone, my name is Anish Gupta, and today I'll be talking about should I go for a corporate sector or should I be an entrepreneur. But before choosing this, you should know, like, everyone should get everything when a person comes out of his comfort zone, when he risks himself into everything so that he or she can achieve everything. And that's how you can choose where you should go. But at the end, you should know who are you by examining yourself, by knowing your strength and weakness. If you know that if you can risk yourself or you can put more efforts into some field so that where your comfort is, where your weakness is, then you can decide either I should go for a corporate or for I should become an entrepreneur. Thank you.
Great start, Anish Gupta. Great start. You started with a sentence and then you said, my name is Anish Gupta, and went on with it. Wonderful. Great start. And you finished in 55 seconds, by the way.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, we are done with this, presentation today. But if the seniors want to speak. If Rao sir wants to speak or Rawalji wants to speak, I think we will give them some time for them to give us some advice. Rawalji, you want to start? You want to go?
Even I am learning. This is a wonderful exercise and a wonderful opportunity to learn communication skills. Regarding puja, I have noted something, that the word public space was repeated 3-4 times. So that's time constraint, because each word repeated will be at the cost of some other words. Sandhya, and she was good, but she had, I wish she had structured her skill part, because verbal skill and programming skill, there were some repetitions. Alan Philip was good but very fast. He was running like a sprinter. And Ansh spoke very well, really very well for the first attempt. I wish he had utilized his 5 seconds more, because he underutilized his time. Thank you.
Wonderful, Rao. Very crisp. Krishna?
I must congratulate all the participants. I think I must also compliment you guys that you've decided to take this internship. I wish I had such an opportunity, way back 30 years ago. Okay, wonderful. And as Dr. Hariharan was mentioning, I think, just 4 or 5 sessions down the line, you guys will be teaching us how to, speak for a matter in 60 seconds. I'm sure about it. Okay. My observations of today is one is, excepting maybe Ansh, I don't remember the topic of any of the speakers. That means actually you have not made an impact on me as an audience. Okay. So please beware. Okay. You need to really, within 60 seconds, I know you know so much, but I think you confined to say, okay, this is the so much that you can do. That's about it. Don't be sentimental about what all you know about it or what all you prepared about it. Okay. So I really don't know what you guys spoke. Okay. So on a scale of 10, I think you would rank less than 1 on this, aspect. Okay. And please don't get me wrong. I'm doing it to make sure that the next presentation that you guys do is much better, and perhaps, way before or way ahead of what you have done today. The second is, I think, excuse me, all of you guys have to rehearse in front of the contraption that you're using for this presentation, whether it's a mobile phone or a laptop, whatever it is, you try it out. Okay. That you do it not some other day, try right now. After your the session ends, you go back, take your own version and see how you have done it, record it and replay it. And the lighting, the face that you have to see, the hairdo that you have, the attire that you have, all this matter. Okay. For people to look at you and have your attention on you. Okay. And I find some of you, I think, is appalling in terms of your personal presentation. Again, don't take me wrong. You're not going for, let's say drama show. You're going for a very professional. You want people to listen to you, take your message, and therefore you need to give all the importance that that it deserves. And so, for example, when you go for a meeting, if you go in a formal attire, we do it in respect of the person whom you are calling on. Okay, because you expect the person whom you're calling on to give you attention. So it is in your own good that you do this, that you give importance to yourself and then get going on this. Okay, so these are my thoughts. And it also is a lesson for me from the next session onwards. I think like how Professor Raval has done, it is only fair that I give individual comments so that that it's useful to you as individually for participating in this. Okay, all right. And give me another 60 seconds. I'll tell you my personal experience. I am from Andhra. I studied in up to +2, everything in Telugu. Okay, so even history, geography, mathematics, everything was in Telugu except in English. Okay, so it was very, very difficult for me, and I was scared of actually public speaking. So when I joined the Madras Christian College pre-university after the +2, for the first 15 days they have option for taking different aspects, and I took public speaking.
Oh.
And at the end of the 15-day course, on the day 1, I was shivering. I did not know anything. And on day 15, I stood first in the class.
Wow.
The reason is this: I do not know English. I do not know public speaking. So I was kept myself an open mind, and I said, I want to learn and I want to give it the best shot. Okay. You are very much like what I was about 40 years ago. And I'm quite sure in every one of you in your respective spheres will be remembered for life in terms of your ability to communicate what you have done. Any work done, if it is not communicated, is useless, is worthless. And that's the word. Okay. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Well, two things I
Wonderful.
will make as observations. Sorry, go on, Ravalji, you want to say something?
No, I was just, I'm learning, but Raoji has also highlighted so many areas. Thank you.
Yeah. One thing I will add to what Rao sir told you all. You see, when you turn on your video, the advantage, shall we say, of utilizing either a laptop or a mobile when you're talking is that you can bring your hands also into play when you want to emphasize something. If you listen to Ravalji on some of his video extracts, there will be times when he uses his hands. And it's a deliberate act. Remember that we are all conscious of the fact that your hands are not on the photo's frame or the camera's frame, but you still bring it in intuitively, sometimes as a reflex, and use that. Today, I'm not turning on my video for some whatever reason. The lighting is very poor in my house. The second observation I want to make is this. I watched Ashutosh Rana, that actor, some time ago. He came on a show that we were having, some show on building industry, and somebody had invited him. You know what he did? He kept the camera about 4 feet away from him, his smartphone. He mentioned it also, that I'm on a smartphone today, and I don't have a phone and so on. I mean, a laptop and all that. He kept it about 4 feet away. He framed himself properly. He's an actor, you see. He framed himself well. He ensured that his audio was right, and he spoke. What was interesting is that the camera was from his face about 2 feet lower and 4 feet away. Keep that in mind. Maybe you want to try it. Today I saw only Ansh Gupta using the camera, at a lower angle than his face. The others were keeping it parallel. The eyes were parallel to the camera. Keep that in mind. There is some lesson there probably. And I know the limitations. If you're on a laptop, what happens is you think that, you can't step away too much. Maybe it's the camera, the microphone's problem and so on. Well, anyway, I'm not going to take any more time. What UVK sir said in the end, listen to it again. Sachin Tendulkar, for instance, for practicing his swing, I believe he used to stand for hours together in front of a mirror and practice it. I remember another time, a long time ago, there was a commentator, a cricket commentator called Anand Sasilwad. Krishna and Ravalji, you will remember Anand Sasilwad. That guy, I used to know him. He was much older than me. That guy used to say that he would practice and practice in front of a mirror. So I'll stop there. Wonderful session. We enjoyed it. I'm sure it was as good for you all. Listen to this. This is just the beginning. Try it out, like Rao sir told you, and see how we can get on to the next one.